That was an opinion of somebody. Tweet. That was an opinion of somebody.
The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. A bullshit concept. A bullshit concept. A bullshit concept. And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people. Of attacking wealthy people. Of attacking wealthy people.
pretty comfortable after day 2.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over if you like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other by.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia. That's where they should be done.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter. Hunter.
No,
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter. I don't know Bo. I know Hunter. I don't know Bo. I know Hunter. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use, and he didn't have a job. But $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
I admit to always improving.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of your favorite show, The Goddamn Goddamn. I am your host, the Goddamn Goddammer. I sentence people to God's damn on a frequent basis. I am the chief executive Goddammer. So that's the CEGD. That's me. Not to be confused with the CED, which I am a fan of. So we got a show here. I've got a show. So anyway, I got a show here. I got planned for you. So folks, I'd like to make an announcement. I'm injured. Folks, this is a very serious deal. I've been injured, folks, and I want to talk about this because it's I've been injured. As you can see, this is a bandage on my person, also known as my hand, also known as my body. And it's kind of coming off because, I slept on it, but, I've been injured, folks, and I want to talk about this. Hashtag, my dumb ass, hashtag. But anyway, so we got a story here. So yesterday I was cooking a delicious meal. I was cooking a great meal. A meal of such power, really is just it was an incredible meal, and eating it was great. But it had that meal that I created and constructed had one extra ingredient in it, folks. One extra ingredient, and so I was grating some cheese, which is my first mistake. I was grating some cheese, and then I accidentally grated my knuckle. So this knuckle, I grated into the cheese grater on accident while I was grating my cheese. I turned my hand a little bit and grated my knuckle into the food. And I was injured. I got injured. And so now I'm not entirely convinced if the food did have the knuckle in there, or at least the piece of my knuckle. I didn't, grate the bone or anything, but the piece of my flesh on the knuckle. I don't know how much of that landed in the food. But that did happen, so that occurred. But did I use goddamn organic ingredients? Most of the ingredients were organic. I don't know if the cheese was organic. Is organic cheese a thing? I don't know. But anyway, so I was bleeding. I was bleeding considerably. There was blood, and it landed on various things. And then I cleaned up the blood, and I attached this bandage. This bandage was attached. Oh shit. I'm looking at it now. Should I show it? Should I show it? All right, folks. So this is the knuckle. This is the blood. Am I allowed to show this on YouTube? I don't know. But looks like I'm fine. This is my first time looking at it since it occurred. Kind of freaking out. Anyway, so there's a lot of blood on this. There's a lot. I was bleeding profusely. Yeah, it looks fine. I'll wash it later. But anyway, so that's when you're cooking, when you are creating meals. Now again, yesterday I got really high. I was vaping on the vape stick. Legal vape stick, by the way. This is completely legal. Can you imagine? Whoa, look at this. Like, who allowed that to happen? Apparently, people that are in multiple state legislatures. But anyway, oh yeah, does anyone want to buy the bandage? I will sell this bandage to you. I will pack it up and mail this bandage to you. Let's start the bidding at $5, folks. $5, and I will send you my bloody bandage. This is like an NFT, right? Like this is like, then you'll go back and watch this video later. You'll tell your kids about it. Here's the bandage. And then you'll show them the video of me talking about grating my knuckle. So if you want this used bandage, I will start the bidding at $5. And $5 and send me an address and it's yours. So by the end of this stream, am I actively bleed? I don't know. I think I'm fine. Okay, so we got a goddamn here today, folks. Hashtag my cheese grater story. You can clone me from my DNA, but you're going to have to do a lot more work if you want me looking like I do right now. You'd be very unpleasantly surprised if you were to clone me from my DNA. Let me just tell you. There would be some shocking differences in the being that you would create with my DNA. So let me just throw that out there. I'm going to do my glasses here real quick. You're going to have to do a lot of work. So, good luck with that. All right, folks. So we got a goddamn here. Well, I got a goddamn. You have nothing. Once again, you are a loser. And this is why you're watching me and I'm not watching you. All right. So, I got a lemon seltz. Folks, you can see my fucked up knuckle. Isn't that crazy? Like, this is just going to be a feature of the stream for a while. Like, this is, every time you see this, you're going to think of hashtag my cheese grater story. So, think about this. Like, look at this. So, again, folks, for those of you that don't know, I'm selling my used bandage. Bidding starts at $5. So if you give me $5 and an address, I will mail this USPS, USA only, unless you want to pay for international shipping. I will mail this used bandage to you from the cheese grater story, $5 or more. If someone gives me 5 and then someone gives me 6, they get, that's so whoever has the highest single Well, I guess it doesn't have to be single, but the highest amount of money. Can you get the skin? Need to replace the piece I graded off when I was 10. There's some skin in here, probably. Yeah, there's definitely some skin on the bandage, like little flakes. You know, you can get some, for sure. So let's get into some news here. Like, you know, got some goddamn news. Let's talk about this. So, folks, I talk a lot on my channel about drugs. I like drugs. I don't recommend drugs. I would recommend you don't do drugs. But I found this article. I found it on the internet. And so I want to read this because, you know, just another example of the government being horrible. And so I want to read this. Federal appeals court dismisses cancer patient's case to use psilocybin under right to try laws. A 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit has rejected a lawsuit by cancer patients and their doctors seeking access to psilocybin, the main psychoactive compound in psychedelic mushrooms, to help treat end-of-life depression and anxiety. The patients and Seattle-based palliative care physician Dr. Sunil Agrawal sued the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency in March after the agency sent a letter saying that there's no way for his clinic, the Advanced Integrative Medical Sciences Ames Institute, to dispense a synthetic form of psilocybin under state and federal right to try laws. The laws allow patients with terminal conditions to try investigational medicines that have not yet been approved for general use. In a published opinion filed Monday, the Ninth Circuit panel dismissed the suit on procedural grounds, writing that the court lacked jurisdiction because the DEA's letter was not a reviewable decision. In short, the opinion says Ames' issue is not with the DEA's letter, but with the blah, blah, blah. So basically, it seems that the people that are dying just can't get access to it, legally speaking, because the government sucks. Now, again, imagine this scenario here. Like, okay, you are literally about to die. Like, again, your life is already over. You're done. You're like, it's like you're like, you know, you really have to pee and there's 5 minutes left in the movie and you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to pause. That's your life. It's done. It's over, right? You're just at the last part. You're just trying to get through the last part and then boom, you're done, right? So, the idea that and like if you are dying, right, the idea that a government who doesn't know anything about you and is made up of a bunch of people wearing Snuggies and fucking like Halloween costumes, right, like the idea that they're going to say you are not allowed to, like, imagine if it was a scenario, it's like you're not allowed to eat Frosted Flakes, you know, on your deathbed. You're just not allowed? Can't do it. What? Like, you're not allowed to have a fruit smoothie on your deathbed. Why? Well, you know, the guy in the costume said so. You're not allowed to have, you know, some fucking classic Dunkies Boston cream donut. Why? Oh, some guy who just, like, picked up a fucking costume from Spirit Halloween for fucking 50% off because it's fucking November 3rd. That guy said so. So you're not allowed to have your fucking Dunkies? What? Like, I just, like, is that a joke? Like, if you were to tell me that, like, in the abstract, if I didn't already know this country was horrible, like, okay, imagine this, like, some guy in a Halloween costume and or a Snuggie walks up to you and says, you're not allowed to do this random mushroom. You know, there's thousands of species of mushrooms. You can do all of those, but this one, you can't do it. You just can't do it. You're just not allowed. It's against the law. I don't know. Yes, that's right. There's a law, and it says you're not allowed to just do whatever you want with your life because it's also you're about to die. By the way, so like it's like what the so all the worries about look, but what if they go crazy and die? Well, guess what? Good news. They're already gonna die. You know, so it's like that's not really a worry. So there's zero risk, all reward, and the government still says no. Because the government's not your friend, the government's garbage. But I want to read a little bit more of this article as well. Well, you know, basically, there's bills going on in a lot of different states, especially in cities, when it comes to decriminalizing substances like mushrooms and other psychedelic drugs, or just all drugs. Oregon in 2020, I believe it was 2020, maybe it was 2018, I think it was 2020, decriminalized all drugs. So if you go to any part within the Oregon border, you can basically do whatever you want. And there's bills in other states like Michigan, Washington. I think California has a bill like that. Florida has something like that. Now, again, probably not going to pass in all of these states, but some of them it might. That is also going to aim to do the same thing, because fuck the government. If we can do it with weed, we can do it with whatever the fuck we want. Fuck the government. Fuck them. What are you going to do, bitch? Fuck you. Folks, once again, start the bidding. $5. $5 if you want my used bandage from the hashtag #MyCheeseGraterStory. Self-inflicted damage. That's my used bandage from hashtag #MyCheeseGraterStory. And so if you want that, start the bidding at $5. Send me money today. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like looking at something. Okay, so I've got some collection of information here. Let me get this. So, folks, over the weekend, it seemed, there was a Nazi rally in Orlando, Florida, and I've got an article here. This was not very widely reported, but I did see some posts on Twitter, and I want to talk about this because this is the kind of stuff that we need to know about. Now, again, I wonder who these people voted for, right? So I wonder who these people voted for. The Jew is the devil. Neo-Nazis rally in Florida. The Jew is the devil and Jews rape children and drink their blood were among slogans chanted at a rally in Orlando held by the National Socialist Movement. So again, these are just out and about, like using, every phrase under the book just with complete sincerity. Neo-Nazis. Participants at a neo-Nazi rally in Orlando, Florida on Saturday waved Nazi flags and shouted anti-Semitic and anti-black slogans, according to the NGO StopAntisemitism.org. The rally was organized by the National Socialist Movement, NSM, and was live-streamed on their American Nazi Party's website. You can see some stuff here. I've got a video here as well. This is the one that I saw being shared online. And now, again, it doesn't have that many. This is for whatever reason, not as many people as there should be are talking about this. I'm going to retweet that one. So here is a scenario where someone was assaulted by the Nazis. And so someone got out of the car, according to the witness, got out of the car, pushed a Nazi, right? But there's, when there's like 19 fucking Nazis, that's not that great of an idea. So they went out there and pushed a Nazi and then got like actually just beaten up, which is pretty, this is just happening. This is the world that we're living in here, where there's Nazis on the side of the road and so they just like beat the shit out of people willy-nilly for fun. But in this video, you can see that there's quite a considerable amount of them. And, this is just another thing that's going on. You can see here that they've got their whole thing going on. And again, apparently Ron DeSantis really didn't condemn them at all. Surprise! He didn't really, he was saying, instead of condemning the Nazis, said that the Nazis are actually part of let's not talk about them. Let's talk about the Democrats smearing me as being a Nazi. Like what? Like what the fuck? And so it's I don't know. This is the United States of America, folks. Usually they have the dog whistle politics, like Patriot Front and Proud Boys. They usually do the dog whistle politics. But I wonder how many of these people in the American Nazi Party are also members of other organizations like Patriot Front or the Proud Boys or whatever that shit is. So I'm just saying, watch out, folks, because this shit is not going anywhere. They're not going to disappear just because you don't like them. So I'm just throwing that out there. But goddamn, my opinion on Nazis goes as follows.
No good, really bad for you.
There you go. Speaking of Nazis. So here is an illegal member of Congress. This person is not actually constitutionally eligible or authorized to be walking around the Capitol. They're actually, again, according to the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, they are banned from holding federal office for the rest of their life, Madison Cawthorn. So it's actually, every time he steps in Congress and casts a vote, that's illegal, it's unconstitutional, and it's against the law. It's just that the Democrats don't want to do anything, because why would they do work ever at all, right? So he just goes around and pretends to be a member of Congress, and everyone else just pretends as well. So here's Madison Cawthorn, illegal seditionist, insurrectionist. This guy has said that he's planning January 6th Part 2. He's already planning it. That's what he said openly. But here he is saying some really interesting stuff. Let's watch.
Quick rapid fire round. Really simple questions. Now, I know you already expressed your support for both Trump and DeSantis, but what is the first word that comes to mind when I say Trump or DeSantis?
Trump.
Okay.
Trump's become like a father to me. I get to talk to him just about every single day. He's incredible. He's such a genius, especially when...
So I want to talk about this real quick. So just about every single day. Now, what does that mean? Right? Like what is just about every day? Like, is that every day? Is that like once every 2 days? Is that once every 3 days, 4 days? Like, what is just about? Is that once a week? I don't know. But anyway, I'm just nitpicking here.
Just about every single day. He's incredible.
She's loving it though. Look at she is glad to be here. She's having a great time. Like, look at her. She looks like she's like on some sort of drug, but that is not. There's no way that's a natural like completely sober smile. I refuse to believe it.
About every single day. He's incredible. He's such a genius, especially when I'm trying to, because being 26 years old, obviously I don't have a ridiculous amount of experience with dealing with foreign policy yet. But so if I can just call the president of the United States, former president of the United States, and say, hey, what would you do in this situation? He can tell me exactly what the whole background is to it. So I love him. He's been very good to me, and he's been so good to our country.
So Madison Cawthorn taking foreign policy advice from former goddamn motherfucker, Donald ass fuck. And so that's pretty incredible to me, is that one, again, Madison Cawthorn is 26 years old. He's also banned from Congress. The Constitution says he is banned from Congress. The Constitution says, again, I always have to point this out, according to the Constitution, you have to be 35 years old to run for president. Okay, well, I'm 25 years old, and I'm going to run for president. Why? Well, the Constitution says that I have to be 35 to run for president, but the Constitution also says Madison Cawthorn is banned from Congress because he gave aid and comfort to those engaging in insurrection. He perpetuated the big lie, right? He let people in, right? Like he was doing organizing with the groups, Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, all these groups, Oath Keepers, were in the room with Madison Cawthorn and his aides, right? He said afterward that he's planning a second attack at the Capitol. He admitted that, right? So he is constitutionally ineligible to run for office, but also to even be in office. So if he is in office, if he is in Congress, even though he violated 14th Amendment Section 3, why can't I run for president? Even though I'm not 35, I'm only 25. So I'm going to run for president in 2024, folks. And we'll see how far I get. And maybe if anyone wants to be a lawyer, and be my lawyer for this one, fuck it, let's go, because the Constitution doesn't matter anymore. According to Democrats and Republicans, fuck the Constitution. Democrats aren't going to enforce it, so they said fuck the Constitution, they ripped it in half. Republicans literally fucking smeared shit on the Constitution, so they ripped that shit in half. They don't give a fuck. So the Constitution says I have to be 35 for fucking running for president? Aha. Or I could just say, fuck that shit, I don't care. I'm gonna run for fucking president. What are you gonna do about it, bitch? Fuck you, Madison Cawthorn. Fuck Donald Trump. And also, he's like a father? What the that's just weird. I mean, this guy is he's really trying to be the fucking, the son Trump never had. It's embarrassing, it's cringy. Trump doesn't even like his own kids. What makes you think he's gonna like you, motherfucker? I don't even know. But anyway, there you go. That's Madison Cawthorn, everyone's favorite North Carolina Nazi. Reminder, folks, Madison Cawthorn visited, quote, the Fuhrer's vacation home. Remember, that came out when he was running for Congress. Is that he went to the vacation home of the Fuhrer. His words. He said, the Fuhrer. He said it was great to be there. Great to be where? Where the Fuhrer would what the fuck? The Fuhrer, motherfucker. I don't even know what the hell. But apparently he's still in Congress. I don't know what the hell's going on with this shit. I'll be your lawyer. I took a constitutional law class. Andrew Kohler, where are you? I forget what state you're in. Because I'm down. Reminder, I just want to say this. Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden is the winner of the 2020 election. Donald Trump lost bigly. He lost epic style. He lost that election by a lot. Joe Biden is the winner and was the winner and will forever be the winner. So just throwing that out there. CalCare. I saw that apparently the CalCare thing is underwater, but I don't know enough about it, to be honest. Because I didn't keep track of it up until this point. So Andrew Kohler, can you send me a direct message on any platform of your choosing? That would be nice. All right, so I'm going to talk about this, though. By a lot! Well, that was, Bodan, that was one of Trump's tweets on election night, is he tweeted, again, he lost. Donald Trump is the loser of the 2020 election, but he did tweet, I'm just going to say, I lost this, but he didn't say I lost, right? He said, he said, I lost this election, and then it was an M dash, all caps, by a lot! And it's a classic goddamn. I never replied to your Twitter DM. I'll do that right now. I'll do it live on stream. When did you DM me? Oh, God. How long ago was this? Are you in... There's a spam filter. Let me check my spam filter. Are you in the spam filter? DM me again. I don't know where you are. Help. Oh. Found you. Oh, shit. All right, I replied to your DM. But that's it. That's it. That's done. No more. No more DMs. That's too much. Folks, do you remember last year when there were 100 people that died in Texas? Because, does anyone remember this? I don't know. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. In last year, around 1 year ago, Texas experienced some severe winter conditions, right? And the energy companies in Texas, because Texas has its independent energy grid. For those of you that don't know, there are 3 grids in the United States, 3 major power grids. There's like the West Coast, right? There's the East Coast, and then there's goddamn Texas, right? And it's because Texas, they love that free market energy. So what happened during last year is everyone was trying to use their heaters and stay warm during these freezing weather conditions. And then, right, they so the way that Texas energy works, right, is that the prices are volatile. Right, think of like Bitcoin, except like way worse, and it's directly tied to your ability to survive in the near future. Like let's say like, you know, you wanted to buy Bitcoin, right, and you looked online like this morning, and it was like $14,000, right, and then like as soon as you go to buy it, and then someone like points a gun to your head, all right, buy me Bitcoin right now, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin is like $89,000. How did it fucking go up that high? That's basically what happened in Texas, except instead of someone having a gun to their head, it was the freezing weather conditions and lack of heat, and so then people were they were forced in a lot of situations to buy the extremely high priced energy. I believe that there were some reports of the prices would go up like 2,000% from the start of the week to the peak of the freeze. And again, so some people did not have access to heat, and they died. About 100, I believe, people, to my understanding, died, including elderly people. Children died. There was also this situation where people would set their homes on fire because they were trying to keep warm, and they were not used to, because they live in Texas, and this is not normally a problem for Texas, but now that we're having climate change affect us, right? We're experiencing these extremely bizarre weather situations. So people in Texas don't know how to keep a fire, keep it safe, and they ended up burning their homes down. There were multiple cases of that. And then, like, no one in the government held anyone accountable at all. They all just walked away scot-free. The energy companies got to keep their 3,000% fucking profits, right? They got to give fat stacks to their fucking goddamn, like, lobbyists and their fucking politician friends, right? And they all got away scot-free. Remember Ted Cruz fled to Cancun? Right, so, well, here we go. Brace for goddamn impact, folks. It's 2022. Let's watch. I'm glad that they have some really good music here. This makes me happy. We're clapping? Hell yeah. We're not gonna do anything for you, so here's some tips so you don't die. Hell yeah. There you go. No fuel indoors. Like, this is like, again, think about it. They could just like not have like 3,000% markups. They're like it's the government is like giving you like hot tips on how to not die during the winter, and it's presented with this like generic ass like fucking like PowerPoint presentation background music that you would see at like a fucking like TED Talk or something. Like, what the fuck, motherfucker, man? This is crazy. This is out of control. This is the government of Texas, motherfucker. And they're not going to do anything at all. They're not going to do anything at all. So, people are just owning them in the replies. But anyway, like, again, it's incredible what they're doing here. And anything to avoid upsetting their corporate donors and their big business fucking fossil fuel barons that fucking give them money. They literally are willing to murder, because it's murder. They know people will die. Right, again, it's like, okay, it's not like the trolley problem where you're like a random person and you can pull a lever to save people, right? It's not like that, because these people, it's like you built the trolley, right? You built the lever, right? And then you put people on the train tracks, right? With the trolley problem. And then you walk away from the lever. So not only could you like pull the lever and everything would be fine, but you set up the entire scenario and then walk away, right? That's exactly what this is. This is murder. The politicians and the big businesses in Texas have murdered people. They know it's going to happen. They constructed the scenario for it to happen, and then it's going to happen. That's murder, right? If I shoot a gun If I aim a gun at your head and I shoot the gun, well, I got the gun first of all, I aimed it at your fucking head, and I pressed fire. That's murder! That's murder! It's not that's like they set up the scenario, right? They did this free market bullshit power grid, right? These big businesses chose to raise the prices. They didn't need to, right? They could have like done anything else, right? They chose to raise the prices, and then people died because they couldn't afford heat. That is a pretty one-to-one murder. That's murder. Except it's it's vague because like capitalism says it's okay, man, to like, you know, it's the free market, bro. So like, you know, that's what capitalism says. So murder is obfuscated. And now they're making these like really cringy, like fucking like welcome to working in Walmart kind of like presentation fucking videos. Except it's hot tips on how to not fucking die because the government, they're not going to save you. They're not going to, not only will they not save you, they will not even throw a life raft like fucking, like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob's a fucking lifeguard, where he's pretending to be a lifeguard and Patrick starts to fucking drown. And then, you know, SpongeBob gets the life raft and he throws it into the fucking lagoon. And then it's like, it turns out like it didn't even come close. It's like 2% of the way between SpongeBob and Patrick is still drowning. That's basically what the government's going to do, except they're not even doing that. They're not even doing that. They're not even going to pretend to do anything. They're just going to sit there and watch you fucking die, and then they're gonna go collect their fucking paychecks, and then also they'll probably just repossess your house, right? Because, you know, the government owns your property anyway, so you're gonna die, right? All of your valuables will just go to the government, so they get to reap the benefits of having all of your money and fucking bullshit and wealth and all that stuff, and then you're just gonna be dead. Your parents are gonna, or your children are gonna have no parents, are gonna be orphans, or maybe they're gonna die too, hopefully, because then if they die too, then the government will definitely get your fucking whatever wealth you like, the whatever little bit of wealth you do have. But then also, what if the kids don't die? Then they get to inherit your debt, right? Because most of the time these people that are dying are poor, so maybe you're gonna have a fuckload of debt. You don't want your debt to be absolved, so actually, yeah, the kids should stay alive, but just barely. So they're gonna have trauma for the rest of their lives. Maybe they might even have some pre-existing conditions so that they can go get some fucking health care, right? And have to fucking pay big fucking money at these health insurance companies, right? And then they're gonna inherit all of your debt. Good job. Go Texas, bro. God bless capitalism. Fuck this whole country. Goddamn. Mila, send that to me. I missed that. The nuclear bullshit. Whew! We lost power and freezing temps 2x so far this month in NEUS. Aren't you on Ohio, Smia? Amen. Non-religious. Thank you for that. Folks. Oh, shit. I should... Oh, fuck. Folks, I gotta do an announcement, but this requires me turning my camera and mic off for a second because I gotta go get something. I want to do, this is going to be great. You're going to love it. I will be right back, folks, after these messages. All right, folks, I'm back. It was a quick break. Okay. All right. So, folks, recently I've been on a little bit of a bender. That's right, folks. It is a bender that involves a certain somebody. And so recently, folks, I've been getting into collecting Nicolas Cage movies. And so, you know, I talked about this, you know, I want to watch and own every Nicolas Cage movie. So I got a shitload in the mail over the last couple of days. So I want to talk about these. I don't think I've seen a couple of them, but some of these are new to me. So we got National Treasure 2, and it's got like some holographic bullshit on it. Boom, let's go. We got this one, Outcast. Never heard of it before, but I got it. So we've got The Runner. There you go. Never heard of that one. We've got Trespass. Never heard of this one. That's great. We got Left Behind, which I have seen, and it's fan-fucking-goddamn-tastic. We've got Stolen, which, I've not heard of it, so it's going to be good. Adaptation, which I recently reviewed, so that's a good movie. And then, the best of this collection so far is a VHS tape of Face Off. Folks, a fucking VHS tape of Face Off. And, not only that, but it was a rental copy, because it's got the fucking stickers on it. To me, I would prefer rental copies to, home releases, because rental copies to me have more nostalgia. But, Video Whiz, folks, a rental copy of Face Off. That's right. So the Nick Cage collection is growing. It is getting stronger. It is getting more powerful. So I wanted to share that with y'all. So thank you for indulging me in that moment. I have yet to get the vampire movie. That is something that will happen at some point. But there you go. The Nick Cage collection grows, folks. There's all these jerk-offs in here from Ohio. Yeah, fuck Ohio. Go Bengal. I don't know what that means. What is Go Bengal? I'm sorry. I've been to Ohio a couple of times. I would like to go again. How about that? So, Ohio is on the list of places. I want to eventually, when the pandemic, aka the plague, is over, I would love to go and do like live shows in person in places that a lot of my viewers are concentrated, probably in just the USA for now. So if there's a lot of my viewers that are in Ohio, we're going to go to Ohio. So I'm in. Don't worry about it. The Cincinnati Bengals are in the Super Bowl. When's the Super Bowl? Isn't that in February? Isn't that close? Or did that already happen? I don't know. At nuclear power plants, the feed water system is essential for cooling the atomic reactors. A week from Sunday, Feb 13th. Okay. There you go, folks. I want to take a moment to talk about bitch-ass Republicans, including, but not limited to, Susan Collins. So let's watch this clip.
As you're working on this reform, former President Trump is out on the campaign trail. He was out in Texas last night suggesting he may pardon those, if he were elected in 2024, those who were part of the January 6 riots. Given that, can you imagine any circumstances where you could support his election in 20?
Folks, I need you. Not only did Donald Trump say he wants to pardon the fucking insurrectionist bastard morons, right? But he also said in a statement the next day that he wishes that, okay, not only did he say that Mike Pence could overturn the election if he wanted to. Again, Donald Trump lost the 2020 election bigly. He lost by a lot. Joe Biden is the winner. So not only did he say that Mike Pence had the power to overturn the election, but that he wanted to. That Trump wanted to overturn the election. What? He didn't say that, like, he wanted to overturn. That's the word he used. Donald Trump used the word overturn. He literally admitted in a fucking press release that he wanted to overturn the election and that Mike Pence had the power to do so, and that Mike Pence, because for whatever reason, he chose not to. Donald Trump literally said in a press release that he wanted to overturn the election. Susan Collins voted to convict the motherfucker. But again, these are bitch-ass Republicans. These are spineless, little fucking drones. Okay, these are the mouthpieces of the owners of this country, and the owners love Donald Trump. They love this fucking stupid culture war garbage that they've got going on, and they love their precious parties, right? Sometimes they let the drones kind of get their own identities or do some branding exercises, but most of the times when push comes to shove, the drones are in lockstep. The cogs in the machine, it's like the fucking Transformers. Once they start like combining, they everyone goes like woo, and then they fucking combine, right? Like, at the drop of a hat, all the Transformers will fucking ignore their fucking individual identities and become the fucking super Transformer. But anyway, let's start from the beginning and watch.
As you're working on this reform, former President Trump is out on the campaign trail. He was out in Texas last night suggesting he may pardon.
Do people still believe Trump won in 2020? I literally got a YouTube strike for not even talking about the 2020 election last month. I wasn't even talking about the 2020 election, and I got a YouTube strike for election and misinformation. So apparently, in YouTube's opinion, yes, people still think that, to the point where they're going to fucking give me a strike for not even talking about the 2020 election. I was talking about the Democratic primary, and some robot buzzword bullshit. But again, Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Donald Trump lost bigly.
Though if he were elected in 2024, those who were part of the January 6 riots, given that, can you imagine any circumstances where you could support his election in 2024?
Well, we're a long ways from 2024, but let me say this. I do not think President Trump should have made that pledge to do pardons. We should let the judicial process proceed.
You say we're
January
a long way away
6th
from...
was a dark day in our history.
And it was, and you voted to convict President Trump as well. Why can't you rule out supporting him in 2024?
Well, certainly it's not.
The answer to that question, why can't you rule out supporting him in 2024? The answer to that question is because she is a spineless, coward, fucking loser. She is bought and fucking paid for. She is a fucking supervillain, and she's a fucking jackass. That's the reason. She is more comfortable with the prospect of fascism in this country than she is with possibly ever even thinking of not saying exactly what the owners of this country want her to say.
Well, certainly it's not likely, given the many other qualified candidates that we have that have expressed interest.
I'm very interested in what the qualified Republican... Oh, yes, who are the qualified Republicans? Like Ron DeSantis, he's qualified. That's exactly what they were saying about fucking Hillary-ass Clinton, is that she's so qualified. What is this qualification?
In running. So it's very unlikely.
Senator.
So wait, Susan Collins says it's very unlikely that Trump will be the nominee in 2024. Is that what she's saying? Is that
not
what?
Likely, given the many other qualified candidates that we have that have expressed interest in running. So it's very unlikely.
Senator Collins, thanks for your time this morning.
So, okay, in the fantasy world of whatever, I don't even know what the owners want Susan Collins to say, like to spin this fan fiction. This is like we logged on to fucking DeviantArt or Wattpad and we're reading some goddamn fan fiction from 2007 about some anime that 7 people have ever seen, right? So we're deep in the fucking lore, right? So, okay, so in this fantasy world, Donald Trump, I'm not going to say I'm not going to vote for him, because what if he becomes the nominee, right? But my reason for not saying that I won't vote for him is that there's many qualified candidates, whatever the fuck that means. They're qualified. Okay, they're qualified. What does that mean? Are they good? Can they have a chance at winning? Do they have popularity? What is qualified? Qualified doesn't fucking mean anything. But okay, so there's many qualified candidates. Many people are saying that. So in her fantasy fan fiction, right? Donald Trump is like, no one's going to vote for Trump in a primary. Donald Trump winning a primary? That's so unlikely. Doesn't that sound a little bit similar to what they were saying in 2016? Doesn't that sound doesn't that sound almost identical to what people were saying? There's no way Trump's gonna win a primary. That would never happen. Anyway, I have one more thing when it comes to Susan Collins. I have one more statement, but I'll let someone else take this one.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ, only the...
Holy moly, man. These motherfuckers are dumb as hell. Let me tell you. Dumb as hell, folks. See what the viewers are saying? The users and the viewers. Super Bowl, February 13th. Okay. I'll be sure to stream on February 13th. When does the Super Bowl happen? Should I do like a Super Bowl show? I don't know anything about sports. Should I do like a Super Bowl show where I like play a PS1 football game? Would anyone watch that? Like I'll play like fucking NFL, like Madden fucking 1996 on PS1. When does the Super Bowl air? I'll do that. Trump said specifically to overturn, that's exactly correct. Do people still believe? Yes, I already read that, okay. These are some goddams, that's true. Voltron, the Lions formed to make a super robot. There you go. Cucked by Trump, honestly. That's true. That's true. But not in the good dick way. That's for sure. "2024 is so far away." I'm just not sure. I just don't, I really don't know. But what I do know is that it's unlikely that Donald Trump could win a primary. That's what I do know. Fun fact, 100% of the Republican primaries where Donald Trump has been a candidate, he has won. Those have been 2 primaries. 100% of them. He ran twice and he won both of them. So is third time the charm here? Is that the moniker that they're going to, like, what is the logic? I mean, there is no logic. She's just saying what the fucking script says, but, I was debating doing a series where I watch every single Republican debate and Democrat debate from 2016. Because I think first of all, the Republican debates are just hilarious. Like, they're just really funny. And the Democratic ones were just epic. It was a really good era of entertainment. But I'm excited for the 2024 Republican debates. That's going to be fun. Whoever the sorry fucking sods are, they're going to try to run against Trump. That's not going to go well. The fuck is a Super Bowl? That's a good question. Smoke a bowl instead. I'll do both. 7 p.m.? That's fucked up. Make that shit in the goddamn... Super Bowl's an entire day. Lots of pregame shit. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm not streaming for 4 hours of pregame. I'll maybe do like one game of Madden 1997. Bring back Bill Weld. Yeah, Bill Weld. Come on. Where you at? Bill Weld. I was considering becoming a Republican just to vote for Bill Weld in the primary. But then I was like, I think voting for Bernie Sanders is more important. But, React stream of an old 2020 Dem primary debate. Let's go. I live streamed a couple of those. One of the strategies I would do, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think I live streamed like one of them. But what I would do is I would just like do it like it was like, because, a lot of people got strikes on that stuff. And I did a couple of the presidential ones like this too, but you just you don't have the stream on, right? So you sync up. It's kind of like you sync up the commentary track. You don't have open primaries in your state. I voted in the primary. I voted in North Carolina, but it's like you can't vote in Republican and Democratic primaries, right? So I voted for Bernie. It's most important. And I think North Carolina is an open primary state. I know that there was this big phenomenon of Trump supporters voting for Biden in the primary. I don't know, like, you know, there was never really much research done on the crossover for that. But that was a thing that I read a lot about, and I did talk to a lot of people around that time. You know, because I if a Trump supporter comes on the show and wants to have a conversation, I was more than willing to, especially in the primary. And so, yeah, I got a couple people saying that they know, like, you know, dozens of people to go vote for Biden. I just wonder how much of that, because, you know, Trump's the candidate in 2020, like, he's the incumbent, so, like, the primary was just a show there. So, like, I really do wonder what the effect was. I mean, I don't think it was enough to, like, change anything, right, ultimately, but I'm just curious, because people kind of forgot about that little fun fact. Got Ravana in the chat, folks. It's happening. Eating a lot of raw peppers. I have also been eating a lot of raw peppers. And with the raw peppers, I'm having some hot sauce.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce. A lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
It's a really interesting phenomenon for sure. I'm very interested in, like, kind of just studying how that functions. Especially historically, right? Like, because it's not like, why not, right? Like, why not vote for the most potentially loserish candidate, or, like, you know, whatever. Yeah, Biden's horrible, honestly. It's really bad. Like, the Joe Biden experience is not a good experience. Folks, you should know this about me, but I cook with a lot of spices and a lot of hot sauce. I try to make my food as unpalatable for the average white person as I possibly can. And so, love me some raw peppers, and I love me some hot sauce, so. Vaporizing some legal weed. All right, so we got a show here today, folks. I got a show. Wait, it's actually an hour in. Okay. So I started the show an hour ago. Great news. That means I'm almost done. Okay, so this is the Google News portion of the show. And so this is where I run out of things that I wanted to talk about, but you know, I'm not really done with, you know, I'm not really done with the show. So I'm not done with the show. So let's, I'm not done. I'm going to keep going. It's continuing to go. Maybe if I can find a good story. Is there such a thing as a good story? Is there such a thing? Let me drink some goddamn here. Oh, goddamn. Folks, I want to say I'm on day 3 of riding this. I had a mushroom experience on Saturday that was, like, life-changing for me. So I'm on day 3 of riding that Afterglow. And I have to say, I'm feeling fantastic. So, throwing that out there. Yeah, Google News sucks today. They're not giving me anything. There's no dead cops or anything here. This sucks. How am I going to do a fucking goddamn officer down when all the officers keep living? Fuck. What? Oh, this ought to be a good one. This is a CNN article, and it's about food, so I'm going in. All right, folks, I'm ready. Folks, I would like to remind everyone that 95% of American citizens in this country, in the year 2019 at least, it's probably worse now, 95% of Americans do not consume the minimum daily recommended dose of fiber. What's fiber? That's vegetables. 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables. Also, the food industry is the worst industry, in my opinion, in this entire country. Food is not manufactured to be fuel for the body in this country. It's not manufactured to be energy. It's not manufactured to be nutritional. Food in this country is manufactured to be drugs. It's addictive as possible, as unhealthy as possible. It keeps your bare minimum nutritional requirements so that you don't die. You don't pass out on the job when you're working like a good little drone, like a good little citizen, right? When you are experiencing malnutrition, you experience less brain capacity, brain fog. Most people, maybe brain fog is so normal to them that they think that they, like, when they have a headache or something, or like they experience even worse brain fog, to them that's brain fog. In my opinion, once I started eating well, I can tell you my mental capacities have, and I don't mean to say that in like a cringy way, but I'm going to, right? I'm really high, so bear with me. I experienced less lethargy, less nausea, just in general throughout everyday life. But anyway, we're experiencing this extremely horrible situation here, where, they've got Americans by the balls. Americans, 95% of which are addicted to these sugary drugs, addicted to unhealthy foods so severely, and now we're experiencing a pandemic depression-related quote-unquote inflation, which is really just corporations raising their prices. So they addicted Americans to all of these horrible foods, and now they're price gouging Americans to get their drug addictions, to get their fix. So I want to talk about this because this is extremely important. None of this, inflation is fake. It doesn't exist. It's made up. It's just a way for corporations to steal your money, keep you poor, and keep themselves rich. That's all it is. Grocery costs keep climbing. Prices of meat, seafood, produce, cereal, by the way, cereal is made up, and other kitchen staples shot up 9% in 2021. Has your income gone up 9% in 2021? Has your net worth gone up 9% in 2021? Unless you're involved in cryptocurrency, the answer is probably no. But again, the cost of living for your drugs, for your fix, that's going to go up 9%. And again, this is why I try to advocate for people that watch me to really pay attention to what they eat, grow your own food whenever possible, because the food industry it's like the pharmaceutical industry, and that it's easier to keep people on longer term prescriptions and medications. That's why the pharmaceutical industry is so afraid of stuff like psilocybin and mushrooms, right? Because that's something that, there's studies done where one mushroom dose can cure depression for like 5 years. What the fuck? Then how are we can't give people 5 years worth of Zoloft or something. How the hell are we gonna keep up? How are we gonna make it? Right? So that's why they don't like natural stuff like that. And again, the same thing is with these. Now, produce does go up, but again, there's lots of food decisions. You should always be changing, in my opinion, you should always be changing your diet. You should have staples. Yes, you can have favorite foods, absolutely. But you should always be trying to learn about new foods, in my opinion, because if something that you normally like to get has gone up 15% in price, and you can't feel comfortable affording to buy it anymore, maybe opt to try to learn about a new food, a new recipe with a cheaper product or something. Trust me, it pays dividends. According to data from IRI, a Chicago-based market research firm, and the trend is continuing this year. Big name brands are raising prices. Big name brands. Again, why would you ever get a big name brand anything when there's store brand? I'm just going to be honest with you, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. Why the store brand exists? Why the fuck are you going to get the Heinz product? Why the fuck are you going to get Maxwell House? Why the fuck are you going to get Velveeta? Why the fuck are you going to get Kool-Aid? General Mills, Campbell. Store brand exists. If it doesn't exist and that's the only option in some obscure food product, okay, right? But a lot of these things, you don't need to buy the fucking stupid brand name garbage. That's another thing that, like, the food industry has convinced and duped Americans, is that the brand name is better than the store brand. Most of the time, store brands source their materials and ingredients from the same sources. Let's be honest, right? So, again, this is a big conspiracy theory that they try to shove down your fucking throats, is that, oh, yes, you got to get the brand name ketchup. It's fucking ketchup. It's corn syrup and tomato paste. It's fucking ketchup. It's not, what is the brand name Kraft Heinz ketchup? That's really going to be better than the fucking store brand ketchup? It's like 70% markup and it's fucking ketchup, bro. What the fuck? Why does Heinz ketchup even fucking exist? I'm sorry, but like, again, this is just another conspiracy theory that they try to shove down your throat. A lot of that is actually delayed reaction from blah blah blah. Who cares? I'm not even gonna bother reading that shit, because the Food Industry Association vice president, yeah, fuck you. Number of cargo ships, yeah, fuck that. Cost of labor, fuel, ingredients, packaging. Again, they could cut their own bonuses. They could cut CEO pay. That's not like CEO pay doesn't need to be 300 times the average worker, right? They could maybe do 280 times the average worker and then maybe keep prices the same, but they're not gonna. Because they see an excuse, right, a made-up bullshit excuse going in through the media that they can use to fucking price gouge people that are just trying to fucking live their goddamn lives. Disruptions everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Again, the CNN article is, I wanted to read this mostly because it's on CNN. CNN's just going to blame inflation. No mention of CEO pay. No mention of bonuses. No mention of horrible working conditions. No mention of any of this kind of stuff. No mention of store brand. Again, this is just a horrible fucking, it's just horrible. The way that American media and the way that the American capitalistic society treats food is horrible. And I want to say this on a global scale, especially in the West, Western culture. It's horrible. Food habits in this country and in, like, you know, parts of Europe and so forth, in Western countries, are shit on my shoes, right? Again, it's just glorified drug addiction. And again, once they get people hooked on certain kinds of foods, right, then they can price gouge you. And again, this is why I'm so big on food, is because I know people, I know it takes time. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I struggled with food addiction my entire life up until a couple of years ago. But now's the time. If your favorite cereal, right, is gone up, you know, 9%, 13%, and your income has gone down, now's the time to maybe say, hey, I don't need my Oops All Berries. I don't need my, I just saw Oops All Berries here. But like, you know, I'm just saying, now's the time, now's as good a time as any, to do what you can to cut yourself off from the food industry's grasps, because it's extremely important. You know, again, not only are you losing money on this deal, if you buy brand name products or buy, like, you know, things like ketchup, you don't need ketchup. It's completely irrelevant. Not only are you losing money, but you're damaging your body, and you're creating unhealthy habits that make you lose money, damage your body, and then also make people that you really, really probably don't like on any level, it makes them a lot richer and have more control over your life and society as a whole. So I want to advocate for food independence and freedom in this country. But anyway, also inflation, the other angle of this, inflation is made up. It's bullshit. Anyone who's trying to tell you, oh, the inflation, how about you inflate my goddamn dick, motherfucker? Anyway, so that's that. That's the show. That's the last segment, folks. All right. Don't buy Swanson. That's Tucker Carlson's family. That's another thing, is a lot of these food industries, like there's like fucking 10 companies that own like fucking 5,000 fucking brands, right? So that's another thing that they obfuscate. They try to make it seem like, oh yes, it's this and that and this. Oh, there's so much choice in capitalism, right? There's freedom of choice, when really in reality there's like fucking 8 or so companies that produce all this shit, and they just like produce it through like fucking fake names and fake labels, and it's like just washed, so that makes you think, oh, like oh, I really don't like this product, so I'm gonna boycott them. And then you buy another product from another brand that's owned by the same company, so it's like, oh, great job, right? There's so much fucking research you need to do, but great news, there's the internet now, so we could do this research, and that's why I want to cover this kind of stuff on my show. So there you go. Oh man, I am stretching. I'm in that. You ever get a good stretch going? You ever just like, you know, do this? Oh, look at this. You ever do this? Oh yeah. You get a good stretch going, you know, work out your fucking bones, you know, like, God, I love, one of my favorite hobbies lately has just been like moving my body and just like observing like the sensations that my body gives off. You know, yes, I do a lot of drugs, but also, like, it's just incredible. Like for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the human body, when you stretch, it feels good. Why is that? That's strange. I mean, I guess it means the stretching is good for you, right? So, but anyway, I just love to stretch. People need to stretch more. Oh. All right, so one of these days, Above It All is going to be like a full-fledged like life experience kind of show. Like one of these days, like folks, I'm gonna do like fucking like yoga workouts like before the show. So we'll start at like 9:30. We'll get like the yoga workout, like, you know, we'll do some jogging in place. We'll do some fucking stretches, right? We'll get that fucking yoga cam going, like Tulsi Gabbard, right? That style, right? And then, all right, we're good to go. You take a shower, and then it's showering with Andrea, right? And then you fucking, then it's the show. Then we get into the news and politics portion, and then we get into the life advice column. One of these days, I'm gonna do everything. So, there you go, folks. I'm announcing it now, folks. Reminder: if you are interested in purchasing my used bandage. Hashtag my cheese grater story. Rewind to the beginning of the stream. I cut my knuckle on a cheese grater, and flakes of my knuckle went into the food that I made yesterday, and so I bandaged it, and I've got this used bandage. This can be yours. You can have my DNA, my blood, some skin flakes on a bandage for $5. $5 starting bid. If someone wants to give me $5 and then someone else wants to give me $6, then I'll have $11. And then I'll not have to deal with this bandage. So if anyone wants, the show is ending in like 5 minutes. So if you want this, now's the time. Now's the time. Face off. More like knuckle off. Am I right? Cooking with the Bitch got to make a comeback. I am setting a deadline on myself for the comeback of Cooking with the Bitch. That's going to be the first week of March. So I'm going to pick a day on the weekday calendar. First week of March, there will be an episodic installation of Cooking with the Bitch. So March 1st is a Tuesday, so either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Those are the available days for Cooking with the Bitch. And so that will occur. Yes, I want to definitely take advantage of the horny leftist demographic. That's, you know, going for it. Just jumping right in. Folks, there's a dog somewhere. Maxie! Reelon, I'm sorry, but can you pay for shipping? Because Maxie. Let's get Max the dog up in here, folks. Maxie. Come on, puppy. Where's your puppy? Come on, puppy. Put your paws up. Look at this pup. Send it to me, Environmental Coffee House. You got a fucking dog under this goddamn desk, and he is getting the pampering of a lifetime. The horny leftist demographic is so underrepresented. That's right. So that's why I got to start the fucking yoga show, where the tight pants get all the angles going. And then people can also sit there and jerk off or work out with me and get healthy. Whichever one, or both at the same time. Can you put all the other stuff that I paid for? I don't even remember. I'm going to be honest. Because every time, right? It's every time. You know, I always say within the U.S. and then Reelon wants to go and try to mess around. Yes, right now my setup is a little interesting. because right now I'm in the Faraday cage. For those of you that don't know, I'm running from the YouTube cyber ninjas that gave me a strike. And so I still got a strike on my account, so I'm trying to like stay safe. I'm trying to block all the signals, and so there you go. Max the Doff. Sarah Palin said, "Oh, that happened over my YouTube strike. The Democrats keep pounding, and they talk about sex." Hey, you know, I don't consider myself a Democrat, but I love to talk about sex. That much is true. So Sarah Palin, she's keeping with it. She is up to date, which is great. Good for her. Folks, that's the show. It's a show. It's not the show. Could be better, could be worse, but it's definitely a show. Is whether or not it's the show, that remains to be seen. But it's definitely a show. It's definitely a show. Did y'all appreciate the goddamn 40 fucking viewers? What the hell? Speaking of which, what the hell was yesterday, by the way? I poured my goddamn heart and soul out on my second stream yesterday, and y'all motherfuckers bailed. You didn't show up. You had these motherfuckers like Mila saying like, "Oh, we're gonna," like, and all these assholes. I only got like 12 viewers yesterday. Look at this. I poured my goddamn heart and goddamn soul out for y'all doing this goddamn doom stream. This is my favorite hobby. I was trying to share my hobbies with you, and motherfuckers didn't show up. Motherfuckers weren't there. So I was, this is bullshit. Here I am pouring my heart and soul. I was crying live on stream. I was so happy to share my favorite hobby with my favorite viewer base, and y'all motherfuckers weren't there. You left me hanging, so fuck. But anyway, folks, look at me. That was me yesterday. Go watch the video of this stream and enjoy it. I uploaded another Doom run this morning. I'm doing the TNT Revolution WAD. I'm adding that to the list with Doom the way I did episode 2. Those will be the main things I'm going to be focusing on. But anyway, folks, you got to watch my fucking... Look at this. Look at this. Look at what you missed out on. This is like... You will never, ever, for the rest of your life, be able to say that you watched this live. It's just you didn't. You abandoned me in my time of need. I was scared. I was sad. I was alone. I was cold and alone, and vulnerable. I was vulnerable. I was very vulnerable. I was trying to to have a good time. And let me just say, you fucked me over, all of you. Every day. I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. The day I was fucked over. January 31st, 2022. The day I got fucked over. Not in the good dick way. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. Y'all have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.
That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
Sam, if I could just get this sentence out, we can talk about Jimmy. Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow. 15 kids tomorrow. I can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow. I can go and kill Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow. Jimmy Dore 15 kids tomorrow. Go and kill 15 kids tomorrow. Kill 15 kids tomorrow. And I still believe in force the vote.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs. 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 That turn, that turn blonde in the sun. Used to come up and reach, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, rub my leg down. I got hairy legs. Rub my leg down. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. Got hairy leg, got hairy leg, got hairy leg. Up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. So it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. Come back up again. My kids jumping on my lap. My kids jumping on my lap. My kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And it get hot, I got hairy legs. Because I learned about kids jumping on my lap. Look at it. So I learned about roaches. 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 Love kids jumping on my lap. So I learned about roaches. Got hairy legs. I got hairy legs. I got hairy legs.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.